Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
We are from Ashok Leyland, Ennur. We are from Gearbox Manufacturing, and one of our section is heat treatment shop. In the Gearbox Manufacturing, our section is from heat treatment shop. We are for gearbox component for gears and hubs and all the other things. We are doing input shaft and the other components. We are doing heat treatment in our shop. So we are did a project based on the Lean Six Sigma methodology. That is advanced problem solving methodology. There is no DMAC methodology only same. The small portion is standardization is included in this methodology here. That's all. This is our charter. Our title is to reduce the input shaft scrap in heat treatment shop in Ennur. Our baseline fixed is ppm parts per million. Our baseline is 3630, and we fix a target for 908. That is nearly 75% reduction. We fix a target. This project is taken because of this. The average heat treatment shop total scrap for 1.5 years we have taken, that is 1220 ppm. Whereas our target for that year is only 1057 ppm. So in heat treatment shop there is four families of components, that is shafts, gears, cones and other components. In shafts itself there is three major categories. There is a main shaft, input shaft and lay shaft. The major rejection is in main shaft only. That is that project is taken by another team. So we concentrate the second one on input shaft rejection. So this is a project baseline. For input shaft alone, our rejection ppm for 6 months is 3630 ppm, sir. Input shaft alone. We are doing a daily management on this scrap monitoring. Our team members are monitoring daily on what is the scrap rate and scrap rate is going on. The trend is going on like this. This department objective linkage with our project is linkage with the plant function objectives, severely linked with the cost competitiveness and the quality competitiveness. This is the KPI linkage meeting where our head of the department is taking heat treatment shop total scrap, and myself taking soft rejection, and my team leader is the input taken separately input shaft. That is input shaft rejection is linked with up to the our HOD. Our goal setting is to reduce the input shaft scrap as we seen earlier. There is a 3630 ppm to 908 ppm. This is a span period of 4 months, and we have decided to use this Lean Six Sigma tools methodology. Our goal setting is 3630 to 908. Our team member is HOD is Babu Charian sir, and team leader Manivanan, Syed Sajid and Lalit Singh Rana. So how it is relevant to our project is company? Is quality is a main factor for to satisfy, to delight the customer. As per our quality policy, our customer is satisfaction crossed, and we are going towards the customer delight. To achieve this, our vision is to be a top 10 global player. We have to satisfy, delight our customer. In the customer quality cost delivery, we are taking that quality point of view to improve the quality in this project. So our voice of customer is our next customer, internal customer complaint that input shaft due to input shaft delay, their gearbox assembly also getting delayed. For this is our CPAC diagram in heat treatment shop. These are the inputs and the process parameters and output. Our customer is hard stage gearbox assembly, hard stage grinding operation, gears and the shafts. In heat treatment shops, it's a process flow diagram. It's an inputs are received like in this condition. The preheating operation and the main sealed gauge furnace. Main heat treatment are doing in sealed gauge furnace, then washing and the tempering, short busting, and web course, manual straightening operation and the crack detection, and then next short pinning. It will go out like this. This is our process mapping in heat treatment shop. These are the key process input variables, sir, hardening temperature, load, quenching oil temperature like that. And our to derive this output variables like the surface hardness mainly, and carbon potential, deflection, some deflection also will be there in heat treatment operation. This is a Bemco-Pras straightening operation. Bemco-Pras straightening operation we are taking in manual operation. We are fixing after heat treatment. We are putting the component after heat treatment salt busting. We fixed the input shaft which is having some deflection, that is bend. We are removing that bend by this manual straightening operation. This is the methodology we are following. Before going to project, our measurement system we have to ensure. Before starting the project, we ensure our MSA system. The number of MSA conducted for this measurement, that is straightness in the input shaft. Number of operators 3 and number of parts 3 like that we have followed. Initially least count is 10 micron. Our dial gauge least count is 10 micron. Based on this 10 micron dial gauge, whatever is gauge R&R is after analysis it was found MS is 30%. It is a border acceptable border limit only. We decided to go for further improvement in MSA itself. We are decided to change the least count different least count dial gauge to measure the bend. Before this least count is 10 microns. After it was reduced to 1 micron. We are conducted again the MSA study with the same operator, same machine and some other things. We found that tolerance is 0 to 15 under our least count is 1 micron. And then our range is gauge R&R is reduced from 30% to 9%. So here we ensured that our measurement system is correct. So now we enter into project, sir. So it will some input excess bend. The input shaft ejected due to variation. From heat treatment shaft scrap we came to shaft. Shaft from 3 categories. Here input shaft. Input shaft itself there is a 3 vital few. Say excess bend in the input shaft. That is we can't make a straightening operation. And some dent mark in the teeth portion of the input and some stain mark which affects the aesthetic part of the component, not a functional part. So we are decided to our team decided to concentrate majorly on excess bend to attack the excess bend defects. On one way ANOVA operation it was there is we are using part number wise. There is part number wise and shift wise. There are 3 shifts we are operating. There is no difference in shift wise. There are no difference in shift wise and as well as no difference in part number wise. All the inputs, all the kinds of input shaft in the all shifts we are facing the defect problem, bend problem. Inputs of operation is mainly in sealed gauge furnace methodology. Inputs of our production is sealed gauge furnace. Our capacity is 1 ton capacity. Here we can use up to 144 numbers of gear shafts in same charge. This is our sequence of operations, sir. There is a hardening chamber. We are pushing the charge. That's here, and next here quench chamber, and after this quench chamber, it is come to the drain chamber. This is taken out from the gearbox. So inputs of deflection after this major heat treatment process we conducted as it is. This average inputs of deflection after process is 245-48 micron. But we need this a better operation in manual straightening machine. It should be below 100 micron. Below 100 micron shafts only we can easily manually straighten. But here it was observed the average is 248 microns. So we analyzed the cause for this defect. The high deflection of input shaft in SQF process. There's 10 causes probable causes we have identified, and we analyzed each and every causes. Finally, we have that 5 probable causes are identified, and the further investigation we are concentrating on that. First cause is soft input, that is before heat treatment. We may think that initial stage itself there was a bend, some run out is there. So that we analyzed, and one sample t-test we conducted, but it was found p value is less than of 0.05, hence it is not a valid cause. This is no run out problem in initial stage itself, the soft stage. Second is supplier wise. We are using nearly 4 suppliers, Tata Bombay forging like that. The suppliers also there is no deflection variation. All the deflection is coming in almost all this from all the suppliers. The preheating furnace, we are having 3 lines of SQF and 3 preheating furnace. Preheating is one of the main contributors for distortion. Where all the preheating furnaces it is coming. We conducted one ANOVA test. We concluded that all the various reasons causes we are validating here. The preheating wise furnaces, first we saw the input run out, there is no problem. Second is supply variation, we have found that there is no problem. And the preheating furnace wise also we are conducted one way ANOVA, there is no problem we have found out. And the furnace wise SQF we are having 3 main SQFs. SQF also furnace wise also no problem because we are facing the deflection problem in almost all the 9 SQFs, sealed gauge furnaces. This loading fixture, another part is a loading fixture. We are having 2 fixture mainly for input shaft coming. Fixture is like that, like this one. This is not one fixture, sir. We are having like this 2 fixtures in our department. Each one fixture is carrying off. We can carry 144. That is 2 tier fixture. That's in bottom section we can load 72 shafts, and upper section we can load 72 like that. This is a 2 tier section. Loading fixture is conducted the trials. 2 sample test is, so we found that Fixture 2 have a less deflection than the input shot processed in fixture 1. We are numbering that fixtures. Fixture 1 processed, the input shot processed using fixture 1 is having more deflection, we found out. We are taking the ANOVA test that where is the component arranged the 72 components in bottom layer and is another 72 components in top layer. The front component, this is a front component. These are the 1, 2, 3, the sample we are taking from this slide. When we are putting an individual plot for value, it was bend also increased. That is from bend, that center bend is having very good correlation. So because the portion here and the variation is single observed, the center part center gears having a more bend. That's all. Finally, we concluded that this is the valid cause and we are going to take action for this cause. The root cause analysis, input shaft get high deflection in SQ process. There's mainly because of this input shaft loading fixture arrangement. Here you can see that this is empty jig. In this jigs only we are loaded the input shaft. This is a top layer, this is a bottom layer, this is the middle plate only. Here the input shaft loading fixtures, input shaft the loading plate bend we are observing this 13.5 mm bend we are observing because of this concave section bend. After some this is not a fresh fixture, sir. After some process of heat treatment, this plate getting bent by in concave section. The center mainly you can see it here. So to avoid this, that's why the shafts loaded in center portion of the jigs getting high deflection compared to the another two sides. So we are taking this solution. We are considered that's a new loading plate we can procure, but it's a design and it's a cost involvement. And the inputs of loading method cannot be changed because it's designed by our project planning team. Where the bent loading plate can be tilted and arranged readjusted for the fixture. That is, this is the bend one. We can tilt it. That is up portion down. That's all. By doing that sound, when the first after tilting the first thermal process itself, that is heat treatment process itself, it will get reversed. That's why we decided to go with along with that solution. Before it was kind of 13.5% bend. When it bend coming to 13.5%, the top layer, bottom layer, the shafts started getting bent. So the maximum bend we can allow this plate is 13.5 mm. We decided to ensure that this as a mistake proofing method. We made one plate that is 13.5 mm plate, and we fixed it in here. Still here we are pushing the loaded jig. Pushing the middle plate here. When it is a bend is below 13.5 mm, that plate will go inside automatically. Otherwise, it will stuck here. This depth is only 13.5 mm. This mistake proofing we have done. Each and every we are instructor given to by SOP to our associate to do this test in between every loading and unloading. So before this like this one, after the deflection process is like this one. So solution implemented after the process here they are taken. But there is some while tilting the concave plate into upside down, there is one small risk. That is the total height of the jig may increase. So we consider that point also. That's why for a risk based analysis we are thinking. But okay, there is after bend the top loaded inputs of height is to be verified before. That's we have found that this is within the chamber level. That is it will not hit the furnace chamber. So that's why it's okay. After implementation, we found that average inputs of deflection after improvement reduced from 248 microns to 130 micron. By doing this improvement, our average is 148 to 130 micron. But we need 100 micron for better result in Vimtostatin. For we conclude the operation to reduce further the bend. Our team member Mr. Manivanan will take. This is a Bemco press monostatin machine. Inputs of get deflection while quenching in SQ process. Those shafts are straightened and bring to spec of 0 to 50 micron. Even though after improvement done in SQ process, 6% of the input shaft having to 200 micron deflection, those shafts are very difficult to straighten in Bemco press monostatin machine. So this is a cause and effect diagram for difficult to remove the deflection input shaft which have 200 micron diagram. From this 6 probable causes are identified for difficult to remove the input shaft to be further investigated. This is a cause analysis. From the cause analysis, 5 probable causes are identified to remove the deflection input shaft to be further investigated. First cause is tight shock run out. If tight shock run down is more than the spec, the tight shock run out will reflect in the input shaft. That is the one cause to
This is also the one cause to straighten the input shaft and bring the deflection 0 to 50 micron. So measure the center run out and once test put in one sample test set, the p value less than the 0.05 means the beam copper center run out is within the target. Hence, this is not a valid cause. Similarly, the center to center alignment also checked similarly and put in one sample test set. It is also within the target. Hence, it is not a valid cause. The third one is a ram pressure. If the ram pressure is not sufficient to remove the bend to input shaft, it is one of the causes. So, ram pressure is measured with the master pressure gauge and compare the master pressure gauge and machine pressure gauge and put in a two sample test set. There is no significant difference between the machine pressure gauge and master pressure gauge. The fourth one is difficult to rotate input shaft was straightening. Why? It's because of the S-stack center is not rotate. It is a rigid bull nose center. It is not rotate. Tail-stack center only rotate. So the shaft, the input shaft which have high deflection, the 200 micron deflection is very difficult to rotate. Those associated cannot rotate the shaft and simply put it in rejection. So the fifth one is support block. Support blocks, there is a gap between the input shaft and the support block is 5 mm. This is the one while pressing the ram and the shaft, the sum of the force taken to reach the support block and then remove the bend. So the bend transferred to one end to other end, cannot remove the bend easily. Initially the support block to input shaft gap is 5 mm. So from the cause validation, two valid causes are identified. This is a why one is for difficult to rotate input shaft. From this root cause is S-stack center design not suitable for bend shaft above 400 micron. From this action space we have three solutions developed. First is S-stack design can be changed. It is very cost and time taken. The second one is revolving bull nose center can be procured. Revolving bull nose center can be procured. It is also time taken and we cannot get a required specification. But that is our cone angle is not made with the outside revolving bull nose center. So we decide to make a one make and design a in-nose revolving center. This is the extending a bull nose center. We give the bull nose center to tool room and tool room. This is the first one. The tool room and the stapper tank is straightened to bearing dia and the total length is reduced to 30 mm. And then one ordinary revolving center is dismantled and bring the taken out the bearings and spacers and fixed in the bull nose center, and then arrangement and the total arrangement is fixed into the revolving center reverse housing. So before the bull center is not rotated, after the bull nose center is rotated. The second one is gap between the input shaft deflection. After adjusting the, so we decide to adjust the S-stack tail-stack center to minimize the gap. We can able to adjust only 1 mm. So after adjusting, the gap between the input shaft and the support block is 4 mm. So why root cause for gap between the input shaft support block? You take a Y1 analysis. The root cause is the V block design is not suitable for 200 micron deflection input micron 200 deflection micron input shafts. So we developed three different solutions. First, S-stack styles can be adjusted, but we cannot meet that target. Second one is U block can be used instead of V block. We use a U block in auto straightening, Galdamini auto straightening machine. So similarly, we can use the same U block here. So we decide to make a U block in in-house and make a U block in in-house. So this is the value solution. So we developed a drawing and could give to a tool room. They gave made and gave a 2 U block. This is before and after. Before the gap is 4 mm, after the gap is 1 mm. This is the before and after. Before the gap is 5 mm, after you adjusted the S-stack tail center, the gap is 4 mm. After you introduce a U block, the gap is 1 mm. Now we can easily remove the bend, the high deflection input shaft. Full scale implemented. All the three solutions are implemented and full scale trial tried. This is a project trend. Before the project, the ppm input are ppm 3630 ppm. It is intermediate after one loading fixture improvement, the inputs are reduced, then revolving center improvement, and then U block introduced, the ppm reduced to 0.
So after completing this all, we update the SOP and the FMA we update in all line, and the control part also we updated. And for U drawing we updated in SOP and given to unit planning. And that plunger daily we are doing calibrating in that, and that for that we give we take feedback from head of department, and for voice of customer we taken from the quality, manufacturing quality. And for horizontal deployment we sent it this project to the Bhandara in our other unit, and for that we achieve the target in 1126 ppm. This is the final.
This is final validated by finance department. The project is saving 1,69,000 tangible benefits, intangible benefits. This is the Gantt chart, plan versus actuals. This is the DA monitoring. After project implemented, the DA monitoring is 0. Way forward. Next, we are going for reduce the dent mark process. This project got first place in LEAF 2020 competition. This is the project structure. Tools used. These are tools used in ABS methodology. Thank you.